It's me, John Mrazzi, here on the Jazz Show. I have Joe Cristiano and Joanne Sorella here. We have some of the best natural competitors in the Rochester area, and these two are putting on bodybuilding shows in the area as well. If you guys could just introduce yourselves and a little bit about us, about yourselves, just tell us about yourselves.
Who's first?
So we are J and J. We own J and J Personal Training. My name is Joanna. I'm a registered nurse. I work full time as a registered nurse, and then I work part time here at the gym training clients. Joe is here full time.
My name is Joe Cristiano. I've been a full-time personal trainer since 1996. I ran Boundaries Gym for 17 years. After that, we had Irondequoit Fitness, Iron House, and now J&J Personal Training. We've been in this location the past 5 years. Started doing bodybuilding shows when I was 18, 1993, and my most recently, I competed in 2021 in Miami. Started promoting shows when I was 22 in 1998, and our next event is going to be October 5th at St. John Fisher College. It's a drug-free show through the UFE that Joanna and I are promoting together.
Awesome. And now, if I were somebody interested in competing in a bodybuilding show, how do I go about to sign up with you guys at your show?
If you go to, what is it, ufeshows.com. UFE is a Canadian-based organization.
I think it depends on where. I mean, if you're just looking for shows to do and you're all set, then get right on ufe.com and sign up. But I mean, if you're brand new, you should be researching coaches and going from there. I would not suggest doing a bodybuilding show on your own.
Right, right. Now, a lot of people have, questions like, where do I find a good bodybuilding coach? I mean, let's be realistic. Bodybuilding itself is kind of like a subdivision sport, right? Where not like football or hockey or basketball, but bodybuilding is its own genre, right? So how would I get a hold of you two specifically? Are you guys taking on clients right now?
Always, yes. If you were somebody just out of the blue looking for a coach, I could tell you what not to look for. Don't look for somebody that just has a lot of followers and glitz and glamour and bullshit. Look for somebody with a track record of competing and for years and have promoted got a lot of people ready for shows.
You need to go to your local gyms and talk to people. That's like the biggest thing. Our biggest way that we get clients is from word of mouth. I hired Joe years and years and years ago because I was told by people I was training with in the gym, hey, this is who you need to go to. Like, there are so many people online. It's very overwhelming for a brand new competitor to try to just pick a coach, especially when you have all these programs that are super cheap and you don't even know, who's doing them. So my biggest advice is talk to people that in your gym, your local gyms where you train in your specific city, and see who the gurus are. These people that have been in the industry for a really long time. They're not just popping up overnight and putting filters on all their stuff.
Like how it used to be before all the social media bullshit that's out there now.
Right, right. And we see that all the time. I mean, you go on Instagram or social media or Facebook, and it's a black and gray photo, low lighting.
Yep.
I mean, the guy, only showing some body parts. And that brings up the next question. I looking at a certain part on stage. I mean, you guys are promoting the shows. I mean, you guys kind of know what you guys are looking for in bodybuilding and even women's divisions, like, women's physique. And we're seeing women's bodybuilding kind of show back up on the scene as well.
Yep,
What
yep.
what are we really looking at when we got the guys and girls next to each other on stage?
Well, it depends on the category. When it comes to women's competitions, there's a big range of physique detail, I would say. You'd start with women's bodybuilding, which is, maybe making a little bit of a comeback in the NPC. Women's physique, then there's figure and bikini, and then there's wellness thrown in there somewhere in there. You know what I mean? So you want to fit your category. You don't want to do women's bikini if you're big and jacked up with striations all over the place, because in theory you should be marked down for that.
And that's where a good coach comes in. I see these women and they don't necessarily know what division they belong in, so they do them all. And it's just how it's just a lot. It's like you have to learn posing for each specific division differently. And no woman's body or a man's body is going to fit every single category. That's why there's divisions. So that's where a coach really comes in and hones in on what your body type is and the posing associated with it.
Joanna's done 3 different divisions. She's done
Okay.
bikini, she's done figure, and she's done wellness. And
That's a
over, it's crazy. She's the only one I know that's done that. And then we've seen over the years that she's accelerated more in bikini.
Mm-hmm. It's
right. And
hard. You go, every prep is different, and you get to like a certain level of conditioning, and you almost like second guess yourself. You know, you're like, wait a minute, am I really this? But I'm not. Like in the off season, I could very well do a wellness, but as soon as I start cutting down, I'm bikini.
right, right. So, and I think that's like for some of the viewers, they don't know the categories, and like you guys are taking on clients. I just want everybody that's watching this too to know that these guys are taking on clients right now, and where you guys located at, just so for viewers to know.
We're in Rochester, New York. So we're right in a little suburb. We're called East Irondequoit. It's a really nice area. We have a huge parking lot. We do a lot of like outside workouts, stuff like that. We're always taking clients. Competitor clients are really our favorite because we're competitors. This is what we love to do. So those are the clients that we really love to work with.
Right. Right. Awesome. Thank you. Now I got some questions. I'm going to just go off of some of the questions I've had for you guys. What's your biggest accomplishment in the bodybuilding industry? I'm sorry.
You want to go first, or you want me to go?
Hello.
I got a couple. I won the Mr. Natural USA. I won the Can-Am Championships. I got my pro card in the NGA. But my biggest accomplishment is 25 plus years promoting shows. I was 22 years old, and I wanted to bring there were no drug free shows in Rochester. So this is when my father was alive, and I asked him. I said, "Well, what do you think about me promoting a drug-free show?" And he said, "Well, what are you waiting for?" You know what I mean? So that for me, I've won a bunch of shows, but that for me is a bigger accomplishment because of the longevity of continuing promoting.
Nice.
I definitely won shows before too, and that's a great accomplishment. But I think my biggest accomplishment was putting a client in a show for the first time and seeing how well she did and knowing that, that was me, I think there's a whole other level of pride that goes along with it when you see your people on stage. Like I get more excited for them than I'm when I'm on stage.
Well, Johnny,
Right.
your first show, you walked into it. How'd you do?
Oh, dude, too funny. I had no coach. I wound up just going up there. I actually, so really quick, I had lost a bunch of weight, and I turned my weight loss into a bodybuilding show because
Mhm.
somebody said I couldn't do it, and I wound up going up there not having a clue what was going on. I attended some of Joe's posing classes there, and I think I did okay. I didn't win.
Yeah, but then your physique. But here's the thing. Here's why you could jump into a show because you had years of powerlifting background. You didn't just jump on stage and say, "Let me see how I do." You had a lot of muscle built, and then you competed. You know
Right,
what I mean?
exactly,
So
and that's different. Like a lot of, I think there is a misconception here in bodybuilding. It's like I haven't trained ever. I see the guys on social media posting. Everybody looks great too, and I'm not going to knock anybody. People look awesome out there. But then there's the guy that or the girl that says, "Hey, listen, I want to step on a bodybuilding show, a stage, and I've never competed a day in my life. I don't even
mhm.
know where to start." And we've seen that how many times? I mean, I've seen that, at different shows in the Syracuse show. I think Mr. Buffalo show. I've seen it at a couple of different places. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? It's not just, one location.
Mhm.
And that being said, I think having some type of weightlifting background would be
Sure.
beneficial to anybody looking to compete, whether bodybuilding, powerlifting, if you do CrossFit, anything that you're going to do. I think you should have some type of lifting knowledge,
Sure.
and we're talking some of the greatest people here in Rochester area
Mhm.
that know about nutrition, know about weightlifting, and those are huge things that you can't learn out of a book. And we have Flex Magazine and Muscle Magazine, the
Yep.
magazines that
Mhm.
exist, but in person. And these guys are great individuals. I do have some questions, and I took the liberty to make some questions. I actually want to look at really quick. How would I go about? Let me ask you this first. What's your guys' favorite exercise and why?
Can I start?
Yeah.
Squats
Yeah.
because I ain't the tallest guy in the world. You know about that stuff, Johnny. I'm not the
Yeah,
tallest guy in the world, so it was always a good exercise, for me. I could always get to the ground. I think my legs are probably my best body part competing, and I think it's from years of squatting.
right. So we're gonna say the squat on there. Are
For
we
me, it's
going
the
heavy?
squat.
Are we going heavy on the squat, or are we going light on the squat?
You're talking about now with a 49-year-old body, or a few years back?
A few years back.
I would go 315 to the ground, 12 to 16. 405, I would go probably not quite ass to the grass, but pretty close. Yeah. And that's still I was still in my mid 40s doing that.
That's pretty good, man. All right, Joanna, what we got?
I'm gonna have to go with lunges just because I'm a big bang for your buck type of girl, and I don't think there's any other exercise where you get more bang for your buck. I feel it in my core, I feel it in my glutes, I feel it in my every part of my quad, hamstring. So I will always, always push lunges. I don't care. There's a million different modifications. You don't have to do a regular one, but you should always have a lunge in your leg day.
I agree.
So I'm gonna I'm gonna just say here. What happens if I like to train legs once a month? Is that going to suffice for bigger
Yeah, probably,
legs?
probably not.
No,
No, probably not.
no.
I mean, if I throw in a leg extension once in a while, is that good enough?
Probably not. You know
Uh,
what?
No,
When I met Tom Platz, when you competed in the show, that Tom Platz was there.
yep, yep.
So that guy talks about squatting like a priest talks about Jesus Christ. He looks in your eyes and he starts talking about the guy's so passionate, and that's how he built his legs. And he's 69. His legs are still big and shredded. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. He's serious when he talks. He's so
Oh yeah,
animated.
great guy. You know
Tom,
what? And he's shorter than we think. Tom Platz is only like 5'6", 5'7". You
right.
know.
I think in the magazines, we see the pictures of Tom Platz, the black and gray one with Lee
Hmm.
Priest there,
Yeah, that's
and
great.
and you're thinking that this guy has to be a monster, just how big he is, and you're like, dude,
Hmm.
what's going on? How tall is he? No,
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
really good guy though. Let me see. What tell us about promoting the show? Like, what are we doing for advertisement? So when you guys are out there and you guys are pushing that show to get out there, where can where can we find it? Not just on a website. Is it like on Facebook, Instagram? Are we on Twitter? How are we
Mhm.
pushing?
We have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram page. A lot of people don't know about this organization, so we are just going to do a grassroots approach and just start hitting up all the little local gyms and let everybody know that we're here, we're putting on a show, and that's what's up.
Right. I need a flyer so we can put it up in the gym in our
Yeah,
town.
Yes.
we're getting to that point soon. What I like about UFE is UFE isn't jumping in and telling us this is what you're going to do and that's how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of mutual respect with Sean, the owner of the organization. He knows that I've been promoting shows longer than most people around. You know what I mean? I continue to do it. He's got enough trust in me, and we have trust in him, knowing that everything is going to be on the up and up. It's very professional. We've both judged the UFA World Championships a handful of times in Toronto. It's class act. It's not your great uncle's bodybuilding show. Let's put it that way. There's a lot of
Right.
different there's a lot of different divisions. Like glamour with the wings and this and that. It's a really really good blend, and it's all high tech judging on laptops and stuff that I always thought we were going to be nervous about, but very very simple. It's very well done.
Cool. And I think the viewers would love to do that too. I mean, even like guys, listen, he just said wings. If you guys can dress up in wings, go have at it. All right. I'm not doing bodybuilding anytime soon. I'm kind of getting old. uh, let me see. During a contest prep, now you're prepping for a show, and I'm going to eat some food. Can I get away with eating chicken wings? You said chicken on my diet. I'm going to eat chicken wings. A fish. Can I eat a fish fry? Um,
Maybe if you're a tall, skinny dude with a fast metabolism, and then you can cut that out at the end. But if you're a woman or you're a short fellow like the two of us, you got to suffer.
right.
What weight did you get down to for that Mr. America show? 156?
what? Yeah, 156, 157, somewhere.
Yep. But
I was
but you looked way bigger because you were so lean. You know what I
right,
mean?
right. And
Yep.
I think a lot of people are seeing these guys competing at 250 and IFBB or NPC,
Hmm.
and these guys are under the impression they're going to be 225 shredded. Guys 275. He's going to
Hmm.
walk on stage 225. And I think people don't really know what goes into it.
Hmm.
Um, there's obviously tricks to the trade that people are using, but we obviously are doing it naturally.
Hmm.
So, how much cardio would you look at then that's where you guys come in and you say, how much
Hmm.
cardio do I have to do when the client, you always hear that, how much cardio? How much cardio?
Right.
Right. Yeah. I
Well,
mean, so what
and
goes into that?
that's what you pay for a coach for. So anybody can go look online and find the diets. You know what I mean? You can find low carb diets. You can find this or that. The reason you pay a coach is it's the monitoring. Where Joanna might have a girl stop in and she takes a look at her. She says, "How's your diet been? How much cardio? How many weeks do you have left?" Um,
There's all different variables that play into it.
mhm.
And that's where the real manipulating comes towards the
'Cause
end,
everybody's
and
different. Yep.
everybody's different. I mean, someone's going to look completely different at 2 weeks out, than another person would. So
Right. I think that's so true. Like, so you're saying I can't have a cookie cutter diet. So
Exactly.
no.
I just want to say something to the viewers really quick then. If my friend is competing in a bodybuilding show and I want to do the show with them, and I don't say, if I don't have the money, and one, bodybuilding is an expensive sport. But
Hmm.
two, if I don't have the money, that doesn't mean that I take my friend's nutrition. You should probably go hire the coach because it's going to be tailored
Exactly.
to the individual.
Exactly.
That's huge.
Mhm.
Um, Let me say, who's your favorite competitor and why?
I've got two. Dorian Yates, because he was a no bullshit guy that just broke his ass in the gym, and Tom Platz, again, because of the late training, because of the intensity to the sport. And I can tell you, I know who Joanna's going to say, but I'm going to let her say it right now.
Well, there's a big reason why, though. Jay Cutler, in my opinion, is the definition of a class act, okay? It has nothing to do with his body. Yes, he's an amazing bodybuilder. Yes, he's very handsome, but he is a very nice person. I think he's a good businessman, and he's very smart with his money. Everyone thinks you make so much money in this sport. It's what you do with it and how you invest it. And he is so wise about that. I've always thought Jay Cutler was just a class act. I really have.
That's awesome because you know what? I think a physique and a great personality go a long way in the industry.
Mhm.
Uh, I mean, and talking about money, am I going to be a millionaire competing in bodybuilding?
Absolutely not. If
Mm.
that what you want to do, pick a different sport. You
All
know.
these people see people with sponsorships and think that that's like an overflowing money that they're getting. It's not. You're getting a coupon code. That's it. The only people that are making money are the high level pros that have high endorsements. They're not making money from the shows themselves. It's all the endorsements that come from it. And that's not coming from doing your local,
Right.
NPC show.
Mhm.
Right, right. So, in your guys' organization, I go and compete in the show. I win my overall in my division, and then I go and I have to win the overall to get my pro card. Is that
So
correct?
what it explain to him from where we step up from our show.
So that's typically how it is in most shows. Ours, if you win, you get the chance to compete in the world championships. That's the one that we judge, and that's where you would go for the pro card. They have an elite class
Yeah.
and then the pro class. So if you win our show, you're in the elite, and then you get the chance to compete for the pro.
And then what that would be is in the world championships, they have pro divisions and amateur divisions.
Hmm.
So if you're winning there, whether he does 1 or 2 days, I'm not sure, but you could also compete in that second half of the show now as a pro
If you
against
won,
against
yeah.
other pros.
Hmm.
Okay, that's cool. I mean that's awesome, and I believe every organization is different, right? I mean,
Hmm.
like it's not gonna be the one size fits all mentality either.
Right.
Well, back
Um,
in the day, it used to be you had to have a certain number of people in a class to give out a pro card. And honestly, that's how I think it should be. But now you have these classes where there's barely any competitors, so they're just giving out pro cards when there was literally like one person in the
Right.
class.
Right.
So this organization does not avoids that because in my opinion, a pro card should be something that's really earned, that you actually had competition.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. I agree 100%. And like, I always like hard competition. My last show that I competed in, Mr. Buffalo, I competed
You
up
were
against.
there. We saw you. We were way in the back.
Guys, listen, I was not ready to compete. I was not ready to compete. I had the time of my life, though. We had found out that we were having Lucas. We just had a little boy uh, a couple months back in August, actually coming up almost a year now. Uh,
Ah.
yeah, and it's been a wild ride, and we found out, and I was still trying to cut weight. I probably should have pulled out, probably stayed with the powerlifting there, but my joints, I'm getting old.
How'd you
So
place? How'd you place at the Buffalo?
I won my division,
Oh,
and I
okay.
lost overall. I competed in men's classic physique, and there were some really good competitors there. I mean, for
Uh,
men's classic physique, I didn't stick around for the bodybuilding show itself because I
Neither
was
did we
home.
that year. I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good time,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody runs their show completely different than the next person, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Um, but always research into the organizations. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, if I wanted, tell me about your client success stories. Like you guys have clients, and I know you guys are very successful with it, and I know you guys have put out some great work as individuals. I mean, even just like simple from weight loss to competitors. I mean, give me the best. What do we got?
Yeah. You want me to too?
Yeah, go ahead.
A lot of our competitors start as the people that wanted to that are lifting weights. You know what I mean? A lot of the best competitors are athletes that got to a certain point in life, whether it's done with college, done with high school, and there's no other challenge. You know what I mean? So they wanted to do some type of sport where, like, you could go play in a men's league for baseball or softball or whatever. You could go shoot darts, whatever you're gonna do. But they want more of a challenge. You know what I mean? So if they pick a bodybuilder show, I tell them, listen, you're gonna pick your first show. Let's pick it way ahead of time. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be a rush. It should just be, slow progress. And these are people that have a weightlifting background, obviously. But I've had people that have, lost a bunch of weight, got pro cards, won shows, whether it's, right out the gate or after a lot of trials and tribulations, but they attain their goals.
My
Right.
biggest success story is my mother because I absolutely adore her and she is what
76, 75.
76 years old and she works out with me twice a week and she has done so well. She is off her cholesterol medication, blood pressure medication. Stuff like that means a lot more to me as a healthcare provider because I do have a lot of clients that come to me because they trust me a little bit more. They maybe have a health condition that they don't feel comfortable going to a regular gym with.
Mhm.
Or I do have clients with disabilities. So stuff like that really gets me more than the weight loss is awesome, don't get me wrong, but those other little achievements than your life that improve the quality of life mean more.
I even had a client that just, said how grateful she was for training because she could play with her grandchildren without having back pain. You know what I mean? You can do your gardening, you can do your mulching, you can do all the stuff that you normally would have to sit down and take breaks. And you feel good because you're used to the weightlifting, you're used to the cardio, and you're eating well. So if you're lowering your body fat and maintaining your lean muscle, those are all things that are going to help you, as your life progresses.
Right. So we can agree that movement is medicine,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And our nutrients matters. I mean, I think that's what we're going to be talking about here in the next couple of weeks. Uh,
Mhm.
it, it's huge to change somebody's life. I mean, to impact somebody and individuals, and it's one person at a time when they come in. I imagine they're smiling when they leave, and they're smiling when they come in. Maybe look miserable during the workout. Sometimes
Mhm.
you push them. I push my clients. I imagine you guys push
Mhm.
yours,
Mhm.
and that's huge.
And
Um,
I've got clients that are experienced weightlifters. They know what to do, but they're going to half-ass it unless I'm pushing them in the gym. They can walk in here miserable, and they've told me, you know what? I walk out here and I'm in a great mood. Then my job's accomplished. You know what I mean? If I have a day where I got 12, 13, 14 appointments, it doesn't even feel like I'm working. I punish them, we break balls, and they're out the door, and everybody's great.
Right. And it's like a family mentality at your facility. Then at your
100%.
yeah,
100%.
and
You
you're
know what
bringing
it
it.
is?
It is, but I don't like to say that because nowadays everyone has problems with their families. So you say it's like a family.
Yeah.
No, seriously, and people think it's like a cult or something, and that's not what we mean. We mean that everybody from every walk of life is welcome here, and we all
Yes.
freaking get together and are get along, and it's all good.
100%.
Right, having that same common goal and interest and passion. Yeah, I mean, you two are obviously passionate about what you do, and you guys are great, man. I mean, especially when somebody leaves your facility and they feel that way, and they come in and they see the changes, and they're doing it on a daily basis. That's awesome.
Well, in
Uh,
other
and-
like unlike
no,
other places, like you get 2 for 1 with us. Like I don't say like, oh, like this is my client. You like you can't, like, or if you help my client, you have to pay. We don't do that. So like if his women clients have a problem, they don't want to feel comfortable talking about him because a lot of things come up on prep that are women related. They have me. And if I have a client that I don't really know, what to do, I bounce off of him. So I think that the clients really like that we're a package
There's no
deal.
ego. There's no ego here. You know what I mean? You got to be able to laugh at yourself in this life. I laugh at myself every day. You know what I mean? There's like, there's not something where I'd be like, oh, she's getting more information than Joanna. If really good, God bless you. You know what I
you're
mean? One
right.
time goal.
Right. Now, is there any hiccups? I mean, like when you guys are training clients, and we always run into roadblocks. I mean, no matter what, you could be the best lifter in the world, and you get stalled. And I mean, like when I say you get stalled, whether it's on like the nutrition and you're not losing the weight, or it's like maybe lifting, a certain technique or whatever the case is, we get stumped on it. As a competitor, as a coach, I know I have. I mean, you guys see that, and what do you guys do for the client at that point when they get the discouraged and they're feeling down and their backs up against the wall? What do you guys say to them?
So if we're hitting plateaus, you're talking about like if we haven't, it's different type of stagnation. We got to look at the whole picture. We got to look at: are you sleeping? Are you getting your meals in? Are you drinking enough water? Are you doing enough cardio?
Alcohol,
Yeah,
drugs.
yeah.
What health conditions do you have? When was the last time you had blood work?
Mhm. And it's basically you got to look at the big picture. There's got to be some piece of the puzzle that isn't clicking with the rest. You know,
Right,
and that could
right,
and that just comes with experience. You know what I mean? Like I said, Joanna may miss something that I would catch, and vice versa. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And what the thing is I don't want somebody. If you're gonna eat bad here and there, fine. No, you ate bad. I don't want you to think you're eating good, but you're really eating bad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you're
yeah,
repeating the same bad behavior, but you
Mm-hmm.
think you're on the right path, and you're really not.
right. And I think that's probably some of the misinformation out there on social media, the internet. We have it everywhere around us.
Yeah, some
Um,
people just want to count their macros. Okay, a calorie is not a calorie. I'm sorry. You're not going to be able to eat licorice instead of eating rice. It's just not
It
going to
doesn't
work.
matter though, because even for healthy food, like oatmeal is so healthy. I wouldn't be caught dead eating oatmeal on a prep. Like, it would
Mhm.
wreck me. It would
Mhm.
absolutely wreck me.
But it might
You
work for
have
somebody
to
else.
know
You know?
exactly. There's just certain, not that oatmeal's bad, but each food there's different properties. You can't
Mhm.
just. That's why we don't like if it fits your macros.
Mhm.
so you're saying I cannot switch out my rice for Swedish fish, but the
No, no, you can't have candy yams. CeeLo, if you're listening, no candy yams. You know, I had you know
And
I,
canned chicken.
I had Lynn Prescott polygraph him and ask him about him when he cheated on his diet.
no, you did not. Seal, are you watching?
he's gonna be watching.
No, that's too funny. I mean, I've done the canned chicken thing. I've thrown it in the blender with some chicken stock before at a
Hmm.
pinch with some
Yep.
rice.
You got to get your food down.
Yeah, man, you just don't want to eat sometimes. I mean, what's the hardest part of bodybuilding? What's the hardest part?
Time, not enough hours in the day.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know, If you're waking up and you're doing cardio, then you're doing your job. You also get your workouts in. You got to prep your food. You got to get, you should be getting 8 hours of sleep a night. You know what I mean? And then it starts all over again. It's like Groundhog Day. But the best competitors are the most consistent with all of those things.
Yeah. So consistency is key. I mean,
100%.
did
Yep.
you and like meal prep? I mean, really quick meal prep. A lot of people get into a pinch and they say, "Well, I'm not going to meal prep. I'm going to eat fast food today," and they go out and they get a salad. Would you recommend me getting a salad from McDonald's or Burger King or I don't know who sells
I don't even
salads?
think they have those anymore, do they? I mean, you know what? If you're in a pinch, I guess you can get a grilled chicken salad from like Chick-fil-A. I'm trying to think what else is fast. Like, I mean, a protein bar here and there. That maybe not something you eat really close to a show, but if you got to go grab a Quest bar or something like that, protein bars are, if you get the right one, are a lot better than they were years ago. Or it might
Right.
be just, you know what? I don't have time for a meal. I'm going to throw some protein powder in with some almond milk and throw in the refrigerator at work, and that's what I'm going to drink with it. Maybe a piece of fruit or something like that.
Right. Something to sustain that muscle growth, right?
You
Feeding
you've
those.
got to conform to your surroundings and the other things you've got going on for that day.
Right.
You know.
That's 100% correct. You have to,
Mhm.
if you want to compete, you have to do everything. I mean, like, it's a full time job. I mean, if you're
Mhm.
working a regular job, 9 to 5, and they're doing bodybuilding show, you better be able to train after or before work.
Mhm.
You better be able to
100%.
do cardio as you get closer. And these guys are telling you guys some real stuff. I mean, so if anybody watching, you're thinking about competing, I would definitely get a hold of Joe and Joanna. These guys are awesome. I think we're coming up on that time. I didn't want to eat up
Okay.
all your time, but I definitely appreciate you guys having them on my show. And
Thanks
you
for
guys are
having
great.
us.
Johnny, anytime you want us to do this, let us know. We can always set it up on a pretty fast, and we'll be good to go.
Okay, awesome. I mean, as we get closer to your guys' show, I think I want to do another interview, see how things are going, and,
Okay.
and,
Yeah.
and let's talk about it. I mean,
And
what
then
go?
if we ever get our podcasting going that we've been trying to do that we haven't for a while, we're gonna have you on our show too.
All right,
All
sounds
right.
good. Be awesome. All
All
right,
right,
guys.
man.
Hey, guys, just really quick, where are you guys from? You guys are personal trainers. What gym do you guys own? Go.
So we own J&J Personal Training. We're at 380 Empire Boulevard. J&J. I don't know what's our website. I don't know. You go to Google, put in J&J Personal Training, and,
DM us
and
on
this ugly
Facebook.
mug is gonna pop up right in your
Yeah.
images there.
And these guys are taking clients. So if you want to compete, get a hold of them. All right.
100%.
You guys have a wonderful
All
night.
right. Thanks,
Thanks,
Johnny. You too.
Johnny.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you. And thank you for everybody viewing. You guys have a great night as well.
Thanks, Johnny.
Thank you.
You're welcome.